Every single one of these expertly designed sets are trying to get to 10,000 supporters. I've looked through hundreds of these and have narrowed it down to 25 that I think deserve a spotlight. Some are hot off the design floor and some don't have much time left. This modular is fresh out of the gate, showcasing a uniquely designed post office with some pretty cool features. The first thing I noticed was the signage above the front door, along with the beautifully designed stonework with lion head statues at the top of the building. As we move further up, I noticed this lit up area and was wondering what is going on up here, and it's actually for drone mail delivery. Zooming in, we see a landing zone for the Lego drone, solar panels, and other high-tech equipment, making this post office look more cutting edge. On the side, we get a parking spot for the mail delivery van and an area to load it up, adding a fun element to the build. Inside, the highly designed interior features fully finished walls and flooring with excellent design. The workstations are detailed, and there's an area for the manager to oversee the facility, covering all the essentials of a post office. Up on the roof, there's a control station to manage drone deliveries, equipped with tools for maintenance. Just great attention to detail, impressive architecture, and a high-quality feel overall. Here's a mini modular of a small cafe straight out of Paris, France, and I mean, it's literally inspired by a real cafe. We get 19th century architecture with top-shelf brickwork and good use of color. When we pull up the side-by-side, we can see that this designer totally nailed the look and feel, while adding their own signature design flair. Taking a peek at the side shows off how impressive this model is, and I'm loving how the dark red bricks on the bottom contrast with the tan at the top, and you know, it doesn't have much time left before it becomes archived. Honestly, I could see this become reality given its famous location, and it's not often we get to see something like this. From the same designer, we get a mini modular of a unique creation. This bike repair shop has nice design work in front of the building with weathered roof tiling that looks fantastic. And as we move down, we get all of this greenery falling over a balcony setting, and it's impressive that we get all this detail packed in front of the entrance. Flip this thing around and we get a look at the back alleyway. I'm really liking how complete all of this feels. On the inside, I like the inclusion of all the tools you'd actually see in real life for a setup like this, and I don't know much about bike repair, but this place looks pretty legit. Of course, we get an apartment upstairs and it has a nice balcony setting along with fitting interiors for this space. And if you're enjoying these ideas showcases, hit those like and subscribe buttons to let me know. I'll keep these in mind when I plan out future videos. Up next is a unique modular townhouse. It has slim architecture along with an awesome looking roof inspired by Japanese design. Not only do the colors stand out, but I'm loving the realistic wiring coming from this utility pole. The ivy scaling the side wall and the cherry blossom tree in the backyard also look great. It always impresses me to see how designers make use of tight spaces, and I like how the room in the attic has this lived-in feel to it. It's neat how they made the bed look messy with these building techniques. The plants by the windows in this living room look very nice, and I'm seeing interesting brickwork here in the sofa area, and the moving boxes are such a cool little addition. Some modulars go for that built by Lego feel, but this designer seems to aim for something more realistic, and it's a neat style that I haven't really seen before in the modular design space. This actually works. Here's another modular fresh out of the gate. This has a really neat feature where you can pull both buildings apart to switch out the orientation. This gives us an alternate scene with an alleyway, and I love when designers think through different ways to surprise us. We get a sporting goods store, a jazz club, and a bike shop, and I'm sure we get some included apartments as well. There's even an Italian restaurant packed into this thing. Oh, and the Lego brick fountain is a cool touch as well. As we move our way to the interiors, I think the designer did a great job here. The bike shop looks well equipped along with the sporting goods store, and for some reason I find these mini Lego store displays to be quite interesting. The restaurant looks like it has just the right amount of fancy with its included table lamps, and it's perfectly placed next to the jazz club so the minifigs can enjoy some entertainment while they eat. This was a cool modular to unpack, and kudos to the designer for thinking through two different designs. Okay, moving out of the modular world, we have a small seaside village with some great design elements. When you first take a peek at this market area, you'll notice the excellent use of colors throughout, along with the expert level building techniques and design work. The waterfront looks awesome with its sea life, translucent pieces, and two-tone color to distinguish the shoreline from the water. And I love the wooden crane that's on the side to handle shipping containers. It's such a neat little idea. The marketplace looks like it's thriving, and you can almost hear the sounds of the sea here. Looking at the back of the set, you can see just how much thought went into the brickwork here. Definitely top shelf quality work. Up next, we have a unique 6-sided castle that has some intriguing inner workings and an unexpected feature. Looking at the exterior, I think this designer did an excellent job with the plant life surrounding the island. The architecture itself looks good, and the colors remind me a bit of some vintage LEGO modulars. The outer shell of the building can be completely taken off to showcase a nicely detailed interior. The 2 floors and furniture layout looks rather excellent, so bravo on the concept and execution. I haven't really come across anything like this. It's always fun to run into a well-crafted pirate set like this interesting 2-island piece. The Imperial Tower on the left looks solid. I like how it's elevated above the water with secret caves underneath, but seeing these red bricks throughout the white structure looks very good. On the other side, I like the variety in design for these buildings. Seeing different roof designs usually breaks up the aesthetics and helps make the design feel more balanced overall. Just a great choice of colors here. In the back, we get a closer look at this dock that connects both buildings together. The interiors are constructed very well with a combination of storytelling elements and high quality design. This would totally fit in with any official LEGO pirate set. From a LEGO Ideas Challenge, we've got this interesting Pirates Island that shows off some unique fossilized features. You know, designers don't get a long time to build sets during these quick challenges, so it's impressive to see how the structure is laid out. I also appreciate the storytelling that we get here. As you can see, there's danger around every turn. And this sort of reminds me of a set piece from a video game, especially with the treasure hidden back here under the bones. Kudos on getting this quality design out so quickly. From the same challenge, we also have a mashup of the LEGO Pirates and space themes. And who would have thought that these pair up so nicely? I don't think I've seen anything like this before. We get the best of pirates with a giant skull at the front of the wooden ship, combined with futuristic space elements like these space-like panels for the sails, and rocket thrusters at the back. This ship is very well designed with a sleek look that you'd expect from a space set, yet it still includes those classic pirate elements. Coming straight out of an animated movie, this flying castle sorta gives me Super Mario airship vibes. Taken from a short scene at the end of the film, this designer took liberties to design out their vision of this wonderful ship. Brilliant use of color and design techniques, and I've gotta say, I like the imagination that went into this design, and it's neat to see the scale of the buildings compared to the rest of the ship. This was pretty cool to come across. Let's check out another ship with this motorized steampunk airship. I featured some airships on my channel before, but it's cool to see this designer really go all in on the motorized aspect. At first glance, the color choices look great. The brown, tan, and gold work well for a steampunk design. And this middle arch area separating the front and back of the ship makes this design quite unique. You can also see some of the inner workings on display, which makes this fascinating. The scenes included for the minifigures look like a lot of fun, adding a sense of character and storytelling. But I would say the stars of the show are all of the mechanical pieces throughout. Not only do the propellers move, but we also get moving pistons and turrets, showcasing lots of ingenuity. The 2 cloud pieces on the bottom serve as a stand, propping the ship upright on a shelf. This build is very creative, showing off lots of talent. Just like this brilliantly designed samurai helmet that caught my eye while browsing LEGO Ideas. We've seen a lot of helmets from LEGO, especially from the Star Wars line, but it's so cool to see an ancient Japanese helmet done in the same style. The colors are spot on and the structure looks fantastic. The designer even went the extra mile by including additional pieces for display. And I seriously think LEGO should consider adding these set piece elements to their helmet line. It would increase the price, but it would also add more to the overall display. It'd be cool to see a mini X-Wing ship or a mini Death Star with the iconic helmets. It's very cool to see that here, and this set is rather excellent. Here's a LEGO art piece we could prop up on our wall showcasing a lunar landscape. First of all, the moon itself is constructed exceptionally well, with multiple layers of colors and pieces to give it depth. Below that, the phases of the moon are displayed in a visually pleasing way. And I love how at the bottom there's a photo of Earth from the moon and a number scale to show how things size up. As we zoom into the moon itself, we even get labels of different portions of the moon's surface. This is an awesome set and would be cool to see from the Ideas line. I'm not sure if it will make it through, but it's a very high quality piece that deserves a spotlight. Check out this diorama of a well-known artist from TV, none other than Bob Ross. This Ideas model takes 6 of his famous paintings and arranges them in an art gallery display. And it also includes the TV studio where he filmed all of his work. What's interesting about this piece is that the art studio can be arranged in multiple configurations, something I've never really seen before, and it's highly innovative and quite ingenious. Each piece has a distinct color and style, and they're all built in like this three-dimensional style to make them pop out. Here we have a realistic turntable design that looks straight out of a DJ's collection. When we look at the side-by-side, you can see the incredible attention to detail from this designer. I've noticed this in their other designs too, they really go the extra mile for authenticity. This turntable, originally released in the 1970s, is beautifully crafted in Lego form, maintaining the aesthetic of that era. The branding and look and feel is spot on with interactive and moving pieces, of course. What's incredibly amazing is that it looks like the turntable actually functions as it moves across the record. Such stellar creativity. I'm always amazed at how designers can take something from real life and emulate it nearly one-to-one in Lego form. Another realistic set, this time we get a vintage radio and headphones from the 1960s. What I like about these retro builds is that they give us an interactive way to learn about older technology, and this is beautifully executed. The color tones look straight out of that era, and all of the pieces are highly accurate to a forgotten age. You can actually open up the radio piece to see all the transistors and capacitors that would allow it to be functional, making this educational. The headphones feature hard plastic pieces that simulate the padding on top, and the ear cups almost look 100% real. The vintage design of the radio itself is so cool, showcasing a simpler time, and overall this model is constructed extremely well. Here's another creation that you could mistake for its real-life counterpart. If you blur your vision just a bit, this Nikon camera from the early 2000s looks like the real deal. It has all the functions and features that you'd expect, including a camera roll inside, which takes me back to a different era. This piece of recent history is another impressive example of matching a real-life object and nailing it in Lego form. And rounding off our realistic sets, we have a Scandinavian-style home bar cabinet with an astounding studless design. The wooden slate backdrop section looks fantastic, and the included accessories give the cabinet a sense of scale, adding to its realistic look. The cabinet door opens up to reveal a fridge area, and what's very cool is when you turn it around, you can see the compressor in the back for the cooling unit, along with a hidden storage area. This is a very classy design, and for a piece of Lego furniture, it's excellently done. Here's a unique creature that I stumbled across, a rather grumpy looking dragon that has brilliant brickwork and techniques throughout. I love the texture and depth of color used, along with the eye designs that give it additional character. Even the stand that has lava running through it is designed very well. It breaks things up quite a bit, and this would be cool to have on the shelf, or it would make a great gift. Moving on to a small diorama of a safari adventure, this takes us straight into a scene of a photographer trying to capture wildlife in a lush landscape. The choice of colors for the ground, grass, and plant life makes it feel quite realistic, especially with the addition of the elephant. From a top-down view, you can see hidden dangerous creatures like spiders and snakes, which is absolutely something you would see in a setting like this. The vehicle itself is well equipped for driving into the wild and capturing wildlife in this natural habitat. I thought this was pretty cool. From wildlife to suburban life, I stumbled across a very nicely designed modular building of a Target store. This feels like a hidden gem to me, given that it was submitted quite a long time ago and has less than 1,000 supporters. I think the exterior perfectly captures the Target branding, complete with shopping carts and the red Target spheres by the entrances. And I love the logo on the sidewalk in the corner as well. On the first floor, we see produce, a selection of meats and frozen goods, along with a cash register area, just like a real Target. Moving up to the second level, we find home goods, including towels, appliances, and even a section for buying Lego sets. Moving up to the top floor, there's a clothing section with an array of outfits and mannequins, along with folded graphic t-shirts in the corner. I thought the set was amazing and figured we could at least appreciate it here. I've never seen a 3-story Target, but I'm sure there's one downtown somewhere, and yeah, this design was well done. This health center was recently submitted, and I've got to say I appreciate the color choices of the brown, white, and orange color scheme. It makes it feel appropriate for a medical facility, which is pretty cool. The designer definitely nailed the aesthetic, even down to the industrial equipment at the top and the garage on the side for the ambulance. The interiors include everything you'd expect in a hospital setting, with a fitting color scheme that contributes to a sterile hospital environment, and the front of the building features interesting tile work, along with a ramp for wheelchair accessibility, which is an essential feature. While I'm not usually a fan of brick-built lettering outside, this was done very tastefully, so kudos on this build. Here's an original piece that was just released, and it takes us to a farm hidden within a train junkyard. It's interesting to see these train cars elevated throughout about the model. Like this car over here on the side that's tilted over, I love how you can see the power lines running across the top. It's a neat touch. On the other side, we get a peek as to how everything was makeshift into becoming a few buildings that each serve a purpose. I've got to say, for a junkyard, the interiors look quite nice. We also get a look at how these dwellers sustain themselves in these conditions, from pumping water to turning an old car into a grill. This sort of gives me Ready Player One vibes. There's some cool stuff here. This modular post office takes a different spin on the theme by combining it with a cafe. The design work on the architecture is stunning, with brilliant brickwork mixed with the yellow and blue branding. There's a loading area over on the left, and over on the right we even get mail by canoe. Oh, and this also has a drone delivery system, which seems necessary these days. From the other side, we get a closer look at the balconies from the cafe area. The canoe loading area also looks appropriately designed with its hazard signage. And as we can see here, the cafe wraps around the entire building. I love the giant sliding wooden door for the loading dock. It's cool to see different door styles and Lego sets. From an aerial view, the design looks amazing with a nicely laid out water stream in the back corner, and the modularity also gives a sense of scale to the set. Peeking into the first floor, you can see the working area and package storage facility. And up top, there's a barista with everything needed to serve customers. And moving up even further, we can see a drone pilot that can operate the landing from the top balcony, which also has a small lounge included inside. We get plenty of ways to access the interior, and I'm always a fan of these slide-out walls. If you want to see more amazing designs like these, from modulars to medieval and everything in between, check out one of our other videos over here. I try to find you the best LEGO designs from all over the world, whether it's from talented fan designers or LEGO themselves, so be sure to keep an eye out for more videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.